what's going on, guys? This is Restless Corpse.
And this is Providence.
And we're Virtual Bromance. It's Virtual Bromance Live, Episode 4. The Bromance of the Ring.
Yeah, that.
And we're going to be talking about some games and junk.
Not wieners, for sure.
Not junk, but...
Not the penis.
Right, not the penis. I hate to do this to you again, John, but I heard that you got something in the mail today.
Yeah. It's true, I did. I received my Hopapowpowwaj. Hopapowj.
And the reason this is, like, super exciting for me anyway is now John will be able to actually put some videos up on YouTube.
This unboxing will include 2 HDMI cables. This is the shit right there. It's the big wiener stuff.
Which is funny because when I bought mine, I bought HDMI cables not knowing that they were in the fucking box.
A USB cable. A booklet of some type that I'm a dude, I'm not going to read that.
Right.
Some software, which you used at first, but it's crap apparently.
No, it's not. It's not necessarily crap. It's just that now that I use XSplit's better.
This is a fantastic power cable. This multi-dongle little cord here that.
Multi-dongle.
Yeah,
Getting
looks
ready
pretty
for
good.
some multi-dongle action.
Which I think I'll probably use for things like my PS3. And then, here's the money shot, ladies. This is what you've been waiting for. Wham! How pow pow wow.
That's right. It's just like this guy right here.
Well, you're scaring everybody right now.
Yeah. All right.
How pow wow.
Of course, accidentally opened my Xbox, as I generally do when I reach over to that area.
Yeah, it gets excited and it thinks you're gonna play with it.
I'll be playing with it. I'll be playing with it later. You just wait for me, baby.
You just signed on. That's funny.
And now I just signed off.
Yeah, whatever. I'll be doing some video capture stuff on games, without David. Oh, Jesus, I'm putting this all together all stupid. No wonder it won't close. I'll be doing some stuff on my own, I guess that means, and that means we're also going to be doing things like gameplay that between both of us that kind of switches between
two
us.
dudes, one video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see a bro's eye view from both players.
Yes, bro's eye view. Also, and this kind of ties into it, we will be constructing the Virtual Bromance compound next month. IRL.
The IRL compound, not to be confused with the bunker, the Casa de Jeff y Jorge in Terraria.
Right. Which we haven't started doing anything with that yet, but we will.
Right, but at our real compound, our real bunker, we'll have a navy blue leather love seat in it.
Right. To show everyone that our bromance is real.
And not wood paneling.
Yeah.
Shit! You know
yes,
what? I'm making all
show
these
everyone
jokes.
that our bromance is real and not just wood paneling. Yes.
Whoa! I'm making these jokes about wood paneling, and I think that one wall in that living room has wood panel, so it might actually.
Well, we're
going to
cover it up with it. Whatever wall that we're going to be using is going to be covered up with awesome. So it's okay. What? It will be covered in awesome. Oh, all right. Which brings me to the next point. We have a lot of different, what? What, man? What? We have a bunch of different new, little projects that we're going to be doing with the YouTube channel, including, playing horrible games or games that everybody says are horrible that that we're going to be playing while sitting on said love seat and either talking shit about the game or talking about how everyone is stupid and that the game is awesome.
Yeah, David wants to do a segment called "John pisses his pants on the blue couch." Yellow.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the color of the pee. I don't know.
It's going to turn the couch green, but you know. No, I don't know what we're going to call these segments yet, but we are going to do one where we play scary games, and hopefully.
No, where David, who's dead inside and is unfazed by scary games, sits next to me and makes fun of me while I play scary games.
Yes, and that's really that's the most important part, is that you're going to have to be playing them.
There's gonna have to be a lot of editing.
No,
because I screw up a
lot. No editing at all.
I screw up and die a lot.
Well, we can edit that out, but I'm not going to edit it if you scream like a little girl or something, because that's the whole point.
Sorry, I have the plague.
You have some pretty pro muting skills too.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. So, let's see. So we've got those.
Well, you didn't elaborate on more of our projects, though. We're gonna. Those are the things that are gonna be coming up when we do the moving thing. But we're also gonna be, working on some other projects, starting soon.
Like what, John?
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, there you go.
Like Psycho Bros.
Psycho Bros. How could I forget about Psycho Bros?
Yeah, we're gonna be starting 2 brand new level 1 Psychos in Borderlands 2 on PC, and we're going to full run the fucking game. Completionist run it, maybe?
Yeah, might as well.
With 2 Psychos, which I think that, I suppose, we'll have those 2 other empty slots if anybody wants to join in with a Psycho of their own at a given point. That's fine.
Speaking of that, Luke also expressed some interest in throwing a Psycho in there on SMS.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He would like that, wouldn't he?
He would.
He would.
He would. I don't know where you're getting at there.
All right, yeah. Well, then Gemma would have to make a Psycho.
That's fine.
Man, I wish you could make a girl Psycho.
Yeah.
She'll have to have him wear pink or something.
I'm pretty sure there's probably a skin for that.
No, I know there is.
Oh.
I remember I have a Psycho at 18 or 19 on my Xbox.
Yeah. All right, so we've got the Psycho Bros, the shitty games, the scary games.
I thought we were gonna be doing some racing games.
Right,
and stuff
we're gonna be
well.
playing some games that we don't normally play, some genres that we don't normally play, including sports games and racing games.
That's all well and good and everything, but I want to let the viewers know that there is no steaming way in hell ever are you going to see us play a Madden game. It's just never going to happen.
It might happen.
It's never going to happen.
It might happen. It might happen.
Well, that's all interesting, but I have trouble believing that that I could enjoy or functionally play a Madden game. I don't know.
That's the whole point of the thing, John.
I don't even know the rules of football, much less how to play football in a game.
The game works the rules for you, bro. You don't need to know shit.
Can I be the Saints?
You can be whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
I think let's start with racing games.
Well, yeah.
I think that it would be great if
I almost bought Blur today just so we could,
Sweet.
I did not.
Once I get my all my old consoles out of my storage locker, we can maybe record some Baseball Simulator 1000 off of my NES or something. That's pretty sick.
If we're gonna play a baseball game on the NES, it's got to be Base Wars, bro.
Baseball Simulator 1000 was where it was at.
Base Wars and RBI Baseball were where it was at for me.
Shoot, I don't have a Genesis. Otherwise, I'd say we should play some NHL 94.
Again, if it was going to be Genesis, we'd have to play the Mutant League sports games.
NHL '94, dude. I'd get to be Chris Chelios, and I could knock
I know,
dudes
it's
down.
all you ever
bloody 'em
fucking
all over
talk
the
about when you
ice.
talk about hockey.
It's the only hockey player. Him and Sergei Fedorov are the only guys I know. I only know who Fedorov is because a girl in middle school was obsessed with him and swore that she was going to marry him someday. She met him a couple times, you know. No!
Oh. Did you give him a handy?
I don't think she married him. I should look her up on Facebook. I wonder if her name is Angie Fedorov now.
Somehow I doubt it.
Yeah, she was pretty short.
She was short. That's the thing that would keep her from marrying this guy, is that she's short.
She was really short. Not like a little bit short. Like short.
All right. Anyway, yes, we probably will play a Madden game. Sorry, man. That's the whole point of the project.
It'll be a very short episode.
Probably. Let's see. Were there any other projects that we were talking about?
Oh, we would love to hear from any. I mean, we have no live viewers at this exact moment, but I'd love to hear from anybody about games like we did last week with Legacy of Kain. Anything that we could discuss, a reboot, continuation, etc., project
Right.
for. I mean,
Any of those super old games that you would love to play again, but nobody seems to be developing them, let us know, and we'll talk about a possible reboot or something. What we would like to see in the reboot.
maybe if you change in the stream what it says you're playing. Maybe Remember Me is just not popular.
But I don't know. I didn't really. I don't know if I can change it now.
I mean, somebody popular. I mean, because like the Village people are popular.
Well, that's true, but we're not playing the Village people. We can't play the Village people.
It takes a village,
You take a village. In any case,
your mom takes a village.
let's move on. I know that you have kind of been sick and busy, so you haven't been playing a lot of games this week.
It's true.
I, on the other hand, have been playing more games than usual this week.
Yeah, you've
more
been quite the busy
different
little
games.
brover.
I mean, I'm always playing games all the time, but more different games this time.
More different games.
Yes. And earlier in the week, I played Sword of the Stars: The Pit, which is a pretty badass game. I picked it up for super cheap on Steam. It's not on sale anymore, but it was. And that's really the only reason I got it, because it didn't look, just from the screenshots and things, didn't really look like a game that I wanted to play. But I went ahead and took a chance on it. And it's pretty fucking amazing.
Good chance. If you change your mind, I'll be
Yes, all of that. It's like a top-down 16.
Oh man, that's my favorite way.
Shut the fuck up. It's a top-down 16-bit style graphics dungeon crawler. The dungeons are all randomized. Everything is randomized about the game. There's 30 sub-levels. You have to get down to the last sub-level and finish it to finish the game, which I have not done yet. And the main reason I have not been able to finish it is because when you die, you start over. There's no saving. There's no save points or anything like that. The only way you can save it is if you want to stop.
When you die, an arm reaches out of your PC and punches you in the balls.
Right. So, knowing
You
that
gotta
that's
ice
going to
your
happen,
balls a little bit.
No, knowing that's going to happen, every time I'm about to die, I just turn the game off. Because I don't want to get punched in the balls. It's actually got a really cool combat system. It's got a really deep crafting system, which is cool because all the recipes that you find throughout the game.
To make cookies and cakes and stuff, or what?
You're joking, but yes. All the crafting recipes that you find during the game, when you die and you have to start over, you still have those recipes. So
oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Because what if you got a really kick-ass peanut butter cookie recipe and it's just gone?
Right. Or a hero sot switch. Which is one of the things.
Or a hop pow pow pow.
Pow, 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 pow. Let's see. There's three classes in it. There's the engineer, the scout, and the marine. And the marine's like
Aren't the three
total
classes
fighting
reading,
guy.
writing, and arithmetic?
Yes. The marine is like the total fighting dude, and he's stupid, so he doesn't have like a lot of computer skills, mechanical skills, and stuff like that. But
I guess it's just because I'm big and dumb, sir.
yeah, exactly. And then there's the scout, which is like a mix of the two, and the engineer, which doesn't really have a whole lot of combat skills, but is a genius at computers and things like that. And what's funny is I've gotten the furthest down to level 28 with an engineer.
Huh.
It's just because you find like a bunch of broken lockers or like stasis chambers, things like that you need to open, and if you don't have the technical skills, you can't open it. So you eventually run out of ammo or food because you have to keep yourself fed.
I love to stay fed. It's like
Yeah.
my favorite thing.
Yeah, and the game actually kind of gets pretty intense when you open a door because it's all based on line of sight. So when you open a door and there's a room full of enemies and they all start shooting at you, it's crazy because it's turn based. You can't just duck into cover or something like that. You have to use your turn to get into cover. So it's a pretty fun game. I'll probably be making you play it at some point.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's see.
Let's see, what else have I been playing? The Oregon Trail.
Yeah, the Oregon trip.
Director's Cut. That game is pretty sweet as well.
Did you buy that on Steam?
I did for $4.99. It might actually still be cheap, but I mean, there's always been a bunch of times where we talk about how the Oregon Trail back when we were kids was like super awesome.
Well, because it is.
Right. Yeah, it's still $4.99 right now.
Yeah, it sure is.
So basically what the Oregon Trail is it's the Oregon Trail, but refitted to be a zombie apocalypse game. So, and you're driving...
It's everything you really could hope for in a game, I
Right.
suppose.
You're driving in a station wagon from D.C. to, I think it's Seattle. Or
It's a Woody,
somewhere.
too, isn't it? It's not just...
Yeah, it's a super old one, yeah. And along the way, you have to worry about the parts of your car breaking down just like the wagon in the Oregon Trail. Like your muffler or your battery going dead or popping a tire or whatever. And when you get to each town, you can do jobs to...
Whoa.
Not give jobs. Do
Oh,
jobs.
okay. All right.
Like defense, where defense against zombies, or
You
defense
build a
against,
defense?
Yeah,
You build a defense?
or defense against bandits, or like
You build
somebody
a defense against the bandits?
somebody will drop something out in the wilderness, and you have to run around and find it while these zombies are chasing you. It's pretty fun. There's the fording the river thing has been changed to fording a horde of zombies. Dun, dun, dun. Which is really cool. It's actually got like a cool system to it where it'll tell you like the size of the horde and how agitated they are, and you have to make a choice of how to get through them based on
The
that.
horde has had a bad day.
Yeah, and there's when you're out hunting, they call it scavenging, but it's just like the hunting in the first one where you have to shoot bears or whatever in Oregon Trail. Whereas this one, it's run around trying to pick up like scrap or money or medkits or whatever while the zombies are wandering around trying to get you. And every once in a while you'll get like some sweet ass metal guitar riff, and it'll flash boss fight, and then you'll have like a zombie bear come at you or something.
Ooh, there's zombie bears?
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Pretty good.
Or zombie like wolves. And then sometimes when you're driving around, like between the areas, you can be attacked by a bandit biker gang, where you have to just like move up and down to crash them off their bikes before they shoot you, or the stampede of zombie deer that also counts as a boss fight.
Like on Teen Wolf? That deer like jumped through that
right,
windshield,
right, but like a stampede of them. And you just have to move between them. It's like they move
like
as
a cross
wall.
between the deer and the birds on Teen Wolf today.
Right. The birds were
You
weird.
mean like if a bunch of deer flew into that classroom?
Yeah.
I love Teen Wolf.
But yeah, it's a really fucking cool game. It's cool that you can name all your characters. So I did a playthrough of me and my bros and then I did a.
I miss Nick.
And then yeah, Nick was the only one that died in that playthrough as well.
Nick is gone.
Nick is gone. I know that I did another playthrough of me taking the Digital Psychosis guys on a tour of the U.S. Through the zombie apocalypse. And
the ill-fated tour of the
that
U.S.
One, for some reason, Steven just wandered off. it's like, one of the random things, it'll stop you and it'll say something that happened. And it was like, Spastic has wandered off. And I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to go find him. And then the car just starts going again. It says gone, like he died. I'm like, okay. I guess we'll see you later, Steve. So, yeah.
Sucks for him.
And it's cool, like, you can ration, like, your food. And
maybe he found, you know what, let's pretend that he found a different station wagon full of hot chicks.
That could very well have happened. I would be very upset that it didn't come back for me. But...
And then it's like, Stephen S. Pastic has wandered off.
Right.
David has wandered off as well.
And the other people are like, what the fuck? But there's you can regulate like how much you ration the food, and you can regulate the pace that you take.
And then you can find money in your pocket that you forgot was there,
like Tony did. You can also accidentally sit on things and break them, like Phil does. You can get hit by stray bullets.
Didn't Tony get hit by a stray bullet?
A lot of people got hit by a stray bullet, yeah. You can break your leg or your rib while the car is just going. So, I mean, there's stuff like that.
Yeah, Tony busted a rib while you were driving. That's right.
Yeah. And then when you get to the end of when you get to the safe area, I don't remember, it's somewhere in Washington, I think, or California, one of those. It's on that coast. You have to do like a little mini game where it's just like the scavenging stuff, but you have to run and grab a whole bunch of oil cans and bring them back to power up the generator to open the gate so you can get into the safe haven. And that's actually pretty tense because there's a shit ton of zombies. But I did it. I have finished the game at least once, and it's pretty good. So I'm excited to maybe have John play that one as well, since it looks like he's buying it.
I bought it.
All right. Also, Alan Wake. I've been playing a lot of Alan Wake lately. I played Alan Wake back when it first came out on Xbox a long time ago, and I love the game. It's a great game. It's got a cool story. I like the way they do it with the episodes and stuff. Each chapter is an episode, and it'll be like a previously on Alan Wake type of thing. And at the end of each one, it'll have like a cliffhanger. It's really cool. But I bought it recently because it was $4 for the entire franchise on Steam. So I decided to pick it up. I haven't played American Nightmare, which is the only DLC I think that ever came out for it. And since I hadn't played that, I really wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and play through the first part again because it's been so long since I played it that I don't really remember the ending. I don't even remember what happens at the end. So I'm going to do that. And then when we create the compound, I'm going to make you play it as well. I know you have it, but I want you to play it like as we record it, and it'll be fun. Yep.
Okay. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'll do it.
And I picked up Slender: The Arrival, but I have not played it yet. Gonna be doing some collaboration with the Digital
Dave.
Psychosis
What's
guys.
going on, Dave? I love you, man. You're my special friend, Dave.
What's up, Broseph?
You're my boy, Dave.
Bronan the Barbarian hanging out in the chat.
Yeah. There's some pretty sick deals on Steam right now. You can get I got the like Game of the Year editions or whatever of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City for a total of $12.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Did you play either of those?
Yeah, I played. I finished
Arkham
the
Asylum,
first
right?
one, and I got like halfway through the second. But it was in that pile of stuff that like I got a bunch of games all around the same time while I was in school, and I just didn't have time to play any of them. And then like more stuff kept coming out, and I got backlogged really, really bad, and I'm still kind of drowning in that. Which obviously I'm doing a very good job of because I randomly decided to play Borderlands for 3 hours.
Right.
with my sixth character.
It's really easy for that to happen because it's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm playing Walking Dead, episode 3. I just finished, so.
Right. Which is a pretty good one. That was the one with the train, right?
Yep, sure is. I was a little bit curious because, I think that the feel is a lot more like the comic, which I like. But I was curious about, and I know that I talked to you a little bit about it. There were a couple of character deaths in the third episode of Walking Dead that I thought were like, it could go one way or the other.
Right.
And it sounds like from talking to you.
Yeah, there is one very unavoidable character death.
The one is like pretty locked in. Which for me, the lesson I learned from that death was in a zombie apocalypse, you're not supposed to have a relationship with anybody.
Right.
If you think that you're gonna have sex with somebody, she's gonna get her fucking brains blown out by the crazy chick in the next room.
So you thought they were gonna have sex, huh?
Well, probably, dude. She was totally into him.
What if you would have saved the dude in the first chapter?
You know what? I totally forgot about that. Maybe they would have gained it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you save the dude?
No, I did not.
That was the dude that you kept going outside and like looking at your brother with, right?
Yeah.
When your dead brother was out there, and you're like, "Oh, there's my brother."
Yeah.
And you couldn't figure out.
But he wouldn't tell him that he was his brother. Remember?
Right.
Because he didn't want anybody to know.
You'd walk out there and you'd be like, "Oof," and then you go back.
And it took like 6 swings of the axe to take his head off.
Yeah, that's pretty serious.
Yeah. But also, we both picked up the Dungeon Siege collection,
which was also very, very cheap. What was that? Was that $4.99?
$4.99 for all 3 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be playing that super co-op.
Yeah. We'll in much the same way probably that we're going to be doing the Borderlands 2 stuff.
And hopefully they'll fix the co-op on Van Helsing sometime soon, so we can play that.
I wonder if a patch has been released for that yet. We'll have to figure that out.
I was enjoying the game. It was ridiculous.
It's really frustrating. I mean, I know we talked about it. We talked about the game last week, and I know that I reviewed it favorably. But we played right after the show last week,
right?
And we
really tried. It wasn't like we ran into a problem and I was like, "Fuck this." We really tried.
Yeah, what the hell happened?
I would get stuck. Like my character would freeze, and I wouldn't be able to do anything until I used the town portal to get out and came back. And it happened like 6 or 7 times in that one tiny area. I remember.
Oh, they did an update on Friday. It looks like. So it might be repaired.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, the multiplayer was really, really buggy, and I had no idea because I was playing. Obviously, I was playing a solo campaign, and I was having no problems at all. So, yeah, it was a really big disappointment. I mean, my guy was wearing a yellow cape and stuff. I was feeling really strong about it. We both were using ranged.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started with blunderbusses, and I think we had moved to pistols. Maybe
your Ghost Katarina got her ass kicked way more than mine.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I almost considered with the top 5 we were going to do. I almost considered nominating her, but I just haven't played enough to say that she reaches the top 5. Because oh my fucking god, if that fucking bitch demands health potions from me in that snotty little fucking voice. One more time.
Yeah. And it's worth saying that mine never demanded health potions from me.
What you changed her behavior settings, though, right?
Yeah, she was aggressive ranged. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, I was aggressive melee. Of course, she was going to get jacked up.
Right.
She started to complain less. That seems like phrasing weird, but She started to complain a lot less once I set her to like gather health potions and stuff as well. Because then she would have health potions, and if she didn't, it would be like,
she'll pick them up herself.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That doesn't mean she'll find them like out of thin air, though, right?
Right.
Because that would be even cooler.
She'll find them in the area. Yeah. But that's good because then if she bitches to me that she needs more health potions, I can be like, hey, fuck you. You should have found more then. Or something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, I got a pretty decent chunk into the game, and I really was sure that working together, we were gonna be able to run through at a pretty good clip, and it just got dropped.
We were gonna run a train on Borgova. Is that what you're saying?
You're fucking damn right we were. It was gonna be amazing. Yeah.
Alas.
Yeah. Yeah. It was disastrous. But yeah, what did else? Didn't I just buy something else? I got those Batman games. I still have to play more. What you call it?
Strike Suit.
Strike Suit Zero. Yeah, it's good that I say what you call it. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Dungeon Siege stuff. That's the other thing about.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of free time right now, and I'm sort of I think we've still, I mean, I think the second DLC is out for Colonial Marines, which I guess is another multiplayer thing, which is a little disappointing. I know that we would really be all over a good campaign DLC for that. Right. And we've got 20 days or whatever until the Borderlands 2 DLC.
So excited for that too.
Yeah. Well, I want to get my Xbox Krieg leveled up. Maybe you can help me with that.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Are
you saying you want to get them to 61?
I want to level them up. Well, I mean, are we going to play that DLC on Super Extreme Awesome Guy Vault Hunter for Reals mode?
We should, yeah.
Then I need him at 61. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying.
Or what level is your Krieg now?
19, I think. 18, 19, something like that.
If you can just get him up to where my Gunzerker is, we can do it on the first playthrough.
I think your Gunzerker should be pretty close.
My Gunzerker is like 24 or 23, something like that.
Yeah, I think he's close. I could probably jump in with you, or you could jump in him. I know that Borderlands 2 has a really good leveling algorithm where if you play, even if you're like 5 levels apart, your level gap closes pretty quickly, and you end up at the same spot. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
We'll figure that out and do that.
I really wish that I could play Modern Warfare 3 and have a single game available, but apparently all I can do is play Team Deathmatch, which is, I don't care what anybody says, that's a game for 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Speaking of Call of Duty, by the way, don't bother. I don't think you were gonna, but don't bother picking up Black Ops 2 because I got rid of it today.
You got rid of it? Nice.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to get Remember Me, and I traded in and took a nice chunk off of Remember Me.
Did you get decent trade-in value for Blops 2 at least?
It was like $27, something like that. It's still popular. So, and speaking of Remember Me, that's the other game that I have been playing. Picked that up today, and I put a good 4 or 5 hours into it before the show, and it's a pretty amazing game. I'm a big Cyberpunk fan. I've been a giant Shadowrun fan. And like the William Gibson novels and things like that.
I don't know. Can you
explain?
Shut
up, John. And it's literally like my favorite setting. Cyberpunk and post-apocalyptic settings are like.
I thought you really liked
vying for my attention. Steampunk is cool, but we talked about this on our first episode, man. Just the other people that are into steampunk sometimes ruin it for me. Because they just want to dress all funny. They don't understand what steampunk is, and it upsets me.
Well, as you know, any opportunity to wear a funny mustache, monocle, and a vest, I'm in.
Right. Which, speaking of, we have really been neglecting Guns of Icarus.
Yeah, we have.
In any case, trying to talk about Remember Me here. The game, I have it on Xbox, and I was talking to somebody on our Facebook page today, as a matter of fact. I have it on Xbox, and the game looks fucking amazing on Xbox. I can only imagine how badass it looks on PC.
What style of game is it? Tell me more about it. I know nothing about it.
It's a third-person, like, I guess you can call it a platformer. It's climbing. You know, there's a lot of climbing around and shimmying across rooftops.
Oh man, I love a good shimmy.
But
is there a sidle in it?
No.
Just a shimmy, no sidling?
No, just shimmying. But there's a really cool like combat system because it's all hand-to-hand combat. It's a really cool combat system where you build your own combos and you unlock
combo.
Yeah, there's 4 different categories of attacks, and you string them into different combos. As you level up, you get access to more longer like combos and more combo moves that you can put into it. And they're not necessarily moves. There's just a 2-button attack, like a Y and X.
But you keep saying combos, and it makes me hungry.
Oh man, pizzeria pretzel.
Good stuff.
In any case, the setting is like some of the coolest settings I've ever seen in a game. It's just so super detailed. It takes place in 2085 or 2086, something like that.
Not 20XX.
No, not 20XX, which would be really fucking cool if it took place in 20XX. If you could run up on Dr. Light and be like, dude, I mean, I want one of those. Dead Rising, right. You can get the X Blaster in Dead Rising. Anyway, and it shoots foam bullets. But
yeah, I remember it's pretty sweet.
But if you finish the game in a certain way, it makes those foam bullets real bullets. It's pretty fucking cool.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, so there's really cool parts where like it's Neo Paris, so everything's like French looking. When it's not all run down and crappy, because there's like the lower city and then the
French looking in the sense that like
the Riviera
lots of tongue. They use lots of tongue.
Right. Nobody shaves the armpits and but you walk through like a market district, and because it's so far in the future, there's like advertisements will pop out, and
you mean advertisements?
Advertisements will pop out, and like, or if a shop's closed and you walk up to the door, it'll
is
have
that
like
shop with an E at the end?
Shut up, John. It's like a hologram that'll say we're closed and like have the hours of operation and stuff, and that's just a really cool like a really cool concept for just random shit that doesn't actually impact the gameplay at all. It's just in there to flesh out the world. It's really cool.
For aesthetics.
Yes.
For some aesthetic perfection.
Nobody that I've run into at all so far has a French accent. Which is kind of weird.
Well, that's good though, because nobody likes that. And
right. I just got a thing called and all the attacks.
You got a crazy little thing called love?
Yes, the game is based around like hacking. You hack memories. So
I thought you meant like hacking, like hacky sack.
No. So all the attacks have like hacker names to them. Like the ranged attack you get is a spammer, and like the DDoS attacks and things like that. So I think that's really cool. The premise of the game is you are a
badass
criminal. You're a criminal.
Are you a smooth criminal?
No, not at all.
Oh.
You wouldn't have got caught.
Okay.
Although Nilin is pretty smooth, if you know what I mean.
Wait, like smooth in like the super bad way?
Yes.
Like she says at the end of the movie.
But you're a memory thief, and I guess what people do is they'll steal memories and sell them. Because I walked up to like a kiosk that was like a cache for memories, and there's a dude like staring at. I guess he's selling memories, but you're a memory thief that gets caught. And at the beginning, you're breaking out of prison, but they wiped your memory, so you don't know who you are, and like your old boss is helping you out and trying to get you your memories back. And I'm like episode 4, I think, where I'm going back into prison to get, because what they say is when you go into this prison, they take your memories and then they give them back to you when you've served your term. So because she broke out, obviously she left her memories there, so she's going back to get them. So I haven't.
Well, that's
gotten
a little
too
bit
far
weird
in the
though,
game.
doesn't it? Doesn't it take the the punishment out of the prison to.
Yeah, it really does. But whatever. But it is an amazing game. I'm really excited to play some more of it. I'm glad that I bought it rather than renting it, because I was going to rent it at first because it might not be that long of a game. Those types of games really usually aren't. But there were no copies when I went there, so I just went and bought it.
Well, that's very impulsive.
And I'm glad I bought it. Well,
I'm glad it worked out.
I used that I used that system that we're not going to be able to use for very much longer.
What's that?
Trading in games.
Oh, that. No, I'm sure that's going to pan out. Right on. So I suppose we're making pretty good time tonight. We've talked about a number of games. We've had laughs. We've cried a little. Oh, we didn't cry. But we did not cry. And we're at about 45 minutes, it looks like.
Yeah.
We still have our top 5 to do, however.
So let's jump into that top 5 then.
We can cap this mother out at about an hour, I think, which would be what we always want, right?
Right. Now, why don't you go ahead and let everyone know what the top 5 is this week?
Well, we took some suggestions last week for some top 5 action.
Right.
I don't think we want to do that anymore.
Because this one was a tough one.
It was a tough one. When we started doing the research, it turned into a tough one. This is a top 5 worst sidekicks list.
Right. And it sounds like it's going to be super easy because people always bitch about like how AI is so horrible. But we wanted to look past AI being bad, and we wanted to take characters that were actually shitty characters or assholes or characters
like,
that
super lame, like terrible. Like the voice actor made them really lame. Like everything about them sucks.
Right, because you can't really. I mean, there could be a really awesome character that the limitations of the AI just made him or her suck at the time, but that doesn't mean the character was bad. So we wanted to look past that and into the other aspects of the character to choose here. So I think we did all right.
I forgot to talk about the fact that I've been playing Final Fantasy VI like a boss.
All right, well, let's do that before we get into this top 5 then.
Well, it's just a minimal thing, Final Fantasy VI is badass.
He's been playing Final Fantasy VI like a boss, yeah.
Yeah, I have it on my PS3. I bought it a while back after putting a bunch of time into the Final Fantasy IV Complete Collection. After finishing the core game, I decided to take a break before going on to the extra content games and play some Final Fantasy VI. I had a game save that was right at the floating continent, so I was level grinding a little bit in there, and man,
when are they gonna?
Everything in that game is so
great. When are they gonna give Final Fantasy VI the Final Fantasy IV treatment on the DS, bro?
They're probably never gonna do it.
That's such a shame.
Yeah.
That's because that's what I've been waiting. The whole reason I bought a DS was because the Final Fantasy IV remake was so badass.
Yeah. Oh, it's and 6 is super good. I mean, I often forget how much of the game is actually post floating continent, post World of Ruin stuff. Like, it's like the volume and really,
I think it just feels that way because you can go and do a lot of things in different orders.
Well, there's a lot of that optional side quest stuff, but you could essentially, that's my word, you could essentially like skip out on, you get enough characters to fill your 3 parties to go into Kefka's Tower and skip out on whatever's left or whatever. Or not even fill them, but just at least 2 or 3 people in each party if you're leveled up enough. And you can just go finish the game as soon as you get to your first couple of characters. I'm just saying that you could. Like the bulk of that latter portion of the game is side quests. It's so great. And it was from an era where we played games just because, becoming
speaking of, I remember that I think that was the first game that I ever played so much that the time counter on your save game was maxed out at all 9s.
Yeah.
So I have no clue actually how much time I put into it, but I know it was more than 99 hours or more than 100 hours.
So, I mean, that was one of the first times that I did like one of the ridiculous it was the first game that I encountered that had one of these sort of situations, but I did that ridiculous like weapon upgrade quest where you put on the ribbon and the whatever else, and you wear the cursed shield and do 250 battles with the cursed shield on, so that it turns into the hero shield. I think it is. Is it the hero shield? Something like that. But it's like the best shield in the game. I did that, and it was badass.
Right.
And then I put it on lock. No, I always had a Genji glove on lock. I put it on somebody awesome. Cyan, probably.
Yeah.
But like, I'll probably do that again. You know, I'm playing this in smaller chunks. I really want to get everybody to do a bunch of runs through Floating Continent, which is obviously designed for level grinding, because it's got that very clear start. Like, it drops you in, you grab Shadow, you go through, you get to a spot where right before the end, it allows you to jump back down to the airship. You do that, buy some potions, switch your party out, go through again, and you can keep doing that forever. But I want to get everybody, like, ideally, I'd love to have everyone know every spell that they can possibly learn, except for maybe Doom, which is a ×1.
John, I did all my level grinding where the Tyrannosaurs were in that forest.
That's after Floating Continent.
I was thinking. I thought you were talking about Kefka's Tower. Yeah.
So I want to get everybody to be in really rock solid shape before I even get to World of Ruin, which I think will put me in a really interesting spot with being able to do the World of Ruin side quest stuff. I think it should be really kick ass.
You're not going to do that stupid river exploit, are you? The raft, where you could just go around in circles in the raft and get your guys to 99.
No.
Okay. Just saying.
I don't. I think I know what you're talking about, but
you know the raft.
I've never
where you
heard
have
of
to
that before.
choose the direction that you go in the raft.
I know the raft.
At the beginning of the game, and there's a loop, and if you have like a controller that has the like an auto A, you can just tape down the A button and go through that circle for a couple hours, and then those characters to be up to 99.
That's
people
ridiculous.
used to do that a lot back in the day. But it'll only be those two characters, because I think the third character that you have there is like an NPC.
It's Bannon, yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't count. He doesn't level up.
I think it's Terra and
Locke, isn't it?
no, Sabin.
Edgar. No, it's before Sabin. It's on the way to get Sabin, isn't it?
No, if you're in the water, that's where you lose Sabin. It's Terra, Sabin, Edgar, and Bannon are your party there.
That's right.
And Sabin jumps into the water to chase after Ultros.
That's right.
Man, I know way too much about that game. No, it'll be a lot of experience agony economizer stuff later in the dinosaur thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll watch my PS3 and put up some gameplay of that.
Yeah.
Feel like, yeah, watch me play for 5 hours trying to fix the cursed shield. Woohoo!
You have to edit that shit, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm pretty stoked. And I also bought every couple of months I buy another old Square title for my PS3. So I finally got around to buying Chrono Cross.
You know, all the times that I always bitch about how I never use my PS3, I should be buying old games.
Yeah,
old Square games.
I have a really good selection. You can get Vagrant Story on there now. I don't know why you haven't done
Vagrant Story.
If you didn't get it, like, since you've gotten that PS3, you don't have it, because it only was released here like a year ago.
I've had the PS3 for a year and a half now, so maybe, I don't know. I know we talked about it a while back.
You might have bought it then.
Because, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I am on my second PS3.
So am I, but that's not my fault.
Talk about it.
So anyway,
yeah.
Worst sidekicks. I'm sorry to interrupt with that huge Final Fantasy VI interlude, but we have a sick affection for Final Fantasy VI. Yeah. It's a great game. If you want to talk to me about Final Fantasy VII, move along. Move along.
6, 4, and 12. 6, 4, and 12.
8.
I mean, 8's good, but I would
4, 6, 8, and 12 are the ones that I'm a fan of that I'll talk about. I got no beef with 9. Right. I like 9, but it's not like holy shit 9.
9 is actually the one I know the least about.
I didn't finish 9
once and that's it.
I didn't finish 9 for a really long time because in the time that I was playing 9, my roommate at the time moved out, and in the moving, I think we lost my disc 4. So I was at the end of the game and couldn't finish the last section of the game.
Yeah. In any case, top 5.
Top 5 worst sidekicks.
Why don't you start it out? Let's save the one that pisses us off the most.
Wait.
For the end.
Is it the one we came up with last?
No, it's the one we came up with first.
Oh.
We could save the one we came up with last for second to the end, though.
Okay.
Because that one's important.
Well, I'll talk about Taper then.
Yeah, you should, because you remember Taper more than I do.
God, Taper, he's such a prick. He's so useless. Taper is the LEV pilot in Zone of the Enders 2 that you encounter on Noman's ship. Before you even go down to Callisto.
He's the one that you have to shoot by the shipping containers.
Yeah, that fucking guy. You have to get him to like fucking freak out and be scared and rattle a shipping container to figure out where he is, and then you got to carry his useless ass down to the Urenbeck catapult or whatever the fuck it is.
While fighting a shit tons of enemies.
Yeah. And then get down to Mars. And then he bails. And then he comes back and he you fight, he comes back and he's useless and he makes you fight a bunch of shit again while he freaks out. And then he comes back and he has the gall to accuse you of being a traitor or whatever, or there to fuck him over.
Right.
And then he comes to the huge the epic battle. That huge battle where you're fighting like hundreds of fucking whatever they are.
Where it's just one big ass screen. The minimap is just one big ass fucking rectangle.
Yeah.
And there's like shit's blinking over here. It means you got to go save a guy, and you don't have to.
And constantly Tapers down.
Yeah.
You constantly got to revive this guy. He's who the fuck green-lighted this guy's LEV pilot license? Put him in a lab somewhere.
Yeah.
Send him back to his mom. This is terrible. Totally. I don't think they could have found a less. Well, then again, I looked at all those lists today, and I can say that they talk a lot about Slippy from Star Fox, and he was apparently a far worse pilot than
Not really
Taper.
a sidekick, though. That's the problem. Like, he doesn't. I mean, everybody's with you the entire time unless they get killed. So he doesn't really count as a sidekick.
But Taper is actually your sidekick.
Right.
He straight up like kicks it with you for a while and is a useless tit the entire time.
Right.
And that makes me mad. So moving along, go to the one that I don't know because it's from Defiance.
All right. So when the Defiance MMO came out, I jumped on it a couple days after it was out, and I played it, and I enjoyed it, and I would still be playing it and not have sold it today had I had people playing with me. But the first NPC that you meet that ends up giving you a lot of your quests is Cass, and I don't remember her last name, but she is super fucking annoying. Like, you can tell that she's supposed to be the comic relief of the game.
That's always the worst.
Yeah, and her jokes just really fall flat. She's annoying. Her voice acting is okay, but her voice is horrible. Like, I can't deal with the actual voice actor. I don't know. She's probably been in other things that I was okay with, but just for this one, I couldn't get into it. And she's the like over the top comic relief to the point where she's talking back to the general a lot, and they're just like, "Oh, Cass," when they should be fucking throwing her in the brig. I mean, she's not a soldier, but still, it's things like that, and it couple that with
she is a sci-fi TV trope, is what you're saying,
right? And couple that with the fact that she cusses a lot, but the cussing is not real cussing; it's the Sci-Fi Network cussing. So like each
whatever it is they say for shit. Whatever it is they say
or whatever.
Stocko, yeah.
It's a lot of that. Except bitch for some reason is still bitch. But
which really, look, I mean, we know what you're trying to say with these words. The only show that I will accept the stupid swearing from is Battlestar. It was the first one to do it,
right.
And even then, like even with Battlestar, when they got into the later seasons, and they started using frack even more like blatantly in the multiple forms that fuck can be used, then it got stupid. But now every other show is like, oh, we can get away with swearing if we just make up a word. Like, you sound like idiots. If you think it sounds stupid when you're doing it, it probably is.
The only exception to this rule that I have, because I'm such a giant Shadowrun fan, is when they do it in Shadowrun. Although the latest edition of Shadowrun, they've actually gone to real cuss words, which doesn't make it as cool for me. I don't know. There's
do they still have mullets and stuff?
No, it's like a modernized thing now, where it's more like slick sci-fi looking, rather than the '80s version of sci-fi, which is totally where it's at.
80s version of sci-fi is way cooler.
Yeah, when everybody's got mullets and beads in their hair and shit, it's fucking cool looking.
We should get mullets and beads in our hair. Everybody looks like Kurt Harlan from Information Society.
Yeah.
Wearing roller skates for no fucking reason.
In fact, a lot of the characters in Remember Me remind me of like old school Shadowrun characters. They don't have mullets, but they have like crazy hairstyles and, you know.
Well, right now it's all like hipsters,
cyberpunk weird shit.
Where they've got like a shaved side on their head.
Yeah. And they have. This is off topic. Back on Remember Me, but they all have like cool like hacking community names
like Crash Override and the Plague.
Well, stuff like that. Yeah. And but they're all like
Zero Cool.
The slums that you start out in is the 404 slums, like the 404 error not or like location not found or whatever, and like Bad Command or something like that was one of the characters' names. It's cool shit like that because they're all hackers, like a hacker community. But anyway, so yeah, Cass. Don't remember last name. Don't really care.
I'd be delayed right failure. It'd totally be me.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
It's my hacker name. Delayed right failure. I lost a hard drive to that.
Yeah. That sucks. Sorry, man.
There wasn't even porn on it. It's like all my TV shows and shit.
Sorry, bro. In any case, moving on. What's the next one? Ashley, I believe.
Josh is. Hey, Josh is watching us. Say what up to Josh, bro.
Is he? I don't see him on the list. But hey, Josh, what's going on?
He's got to log in to talk to us, bro. Ashley, what was her name? Graham?
Ashley Graham, yeah.
Yeah. Sidekick? Loosely sidekick.
Well, sidekick in the same sense that Taper was, I guess. It's doesn't follow you through the whole game, but you're responsible for her.
Yeah. Resident Evil 4. One of the greatest games ever made, really,
right.
Except for all the stupid escort missions with Ashley. Oh, man.
And
help me, Leon!
The weird shit that the cultists say, which I was thinking about the other day. I was thinking about that yesterday, actually.
What is the one that you always talk about?
They're like, go Halo, and then go get the SUV. It's like, what? What the hell does that even mean?
Go get the SUV.
I mean, obviously, that's not really what they're saying, but...
Since they're speaking like Spanish or something like that.
In any case, yeah.
Yeah, her voice is obnoxious. She is somehow made of crepe paper, so that if you look at her crooked, she dies.
Right. And the only way to make her bearable is to stuff her in a dumpster while you go do all your shit.
Oh man, she's terrible. And you don't even like it to bone her or anything either.
Right. As a matter of fact, you try to look up her skirt, she gets pissed off.
Oh, right. Oh my god. Yeah, Ashley's terrible. Yeah, and like I was reading up on these characters, and they talk about how like you spend the whole first half of the game is trying to save her. And then you save her, and you're with her, and then the whole time you're with her, you're like, "Fuck, this chick is killing me. Just get rid of her." And you like are miserable until the moment where they take her hostage again, and you're like, "Oh, thank fucking God!" Yeah. And you start killing everything again, with the goal of saving her in the end when there's nobody around, so that you don't have to fucking protect her anymore. Yeah. And then you ride away into the sunset on a jet ski or whatever, which is pretty decent. The jet ski thing is pretty decent.
It's at least 2 awesome games that the jet ski happens.
Yeah. It's very similar to the end of...
Snowmobile was
jet skis are in Blood Dragon.
That's true, but you don't ride off in the sunset.
Yeah, that's a snowmobile in Metal Gear.
Snowmobile and jet ski. Same concept. You're going down a tunnel in this thing.
So, yeah, there's that. That's... All right, well... I guess you can talk about the second to last one.
The second to last one, which we've
'Cause-
used in a top 5 before.
Because I talked about him the last
But
time.
he's so epic. And he applies for our second to last worst sidekick ever is Strung from Armored Core 2. And the reason that he is a bad sidekick is not because his voice acting was horrible.
Time out a second here. Josh, if you're complaining about spoilers for Resident Evil 4, it's past
Right,
the moratorium,
it's like a billion
bro.
years ago, man.
The game came out on GameCube, Josh.
But yeah, so Strung, it's not because his character, like the AI was bad or the voice acting was bad. It's just
In fact, his AI was really good. Since when he tries to kill you, we had to use a fucking like exploit and stand on top of a ship and whittle away at him with missiles.
The reason he's on this list is because he makes you feel like he's really your bro. Like he does a tutorial for you. He teaches you things. He
helps you on a couple missions,
helps you
I think.
on a bunch of missions, and he's like your guy that you would do anything for, including go out into the middle of a desert for no fucking reason.
Just so that he can turn around and try to fucking kill you. Yeah. And he doesn't even do it like a cool guy. He like has a bunch of little like punk ass mechs come with him.
Right.
He doesn't even like trying to mano you.
Right. Fucking strong.
Fucking
It's
strong.
like the mantra for the last fucking decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the second to last. Now, go ahead and let them know what the last one is, because hearing you talk about it it cracks me up.
Look,
Especially while we're playing the game.
we as we've talked about in the past, we've played a lot of Colonial Marines. Because we were recording. You got to get those videos up so that they actually believe us, by the way.
Right.
Otherwise, they think that we were just fucking around. We were recording gameplay, and it was our first foray into recording gameplay. Oh, God. Oh, I'm sorry. But
You got somewhere else to be, bro?
yeah, no. But yeah, O'Neill is the only thing worse than O'Neill is like the 3 lines from Bella that we had to hear over and over and over
I
again.
was actually going to say that Bella and O'Neill should be lumped in together.
Yeah, well, since they had like a sex thing,
Yeah.
you know,
We had a thing. A sex thing.
which, hey you, like everything the guy says is he looks stupid for one. He's got his like super cliche like. Does he have a beard?
He has like a shit ton of stubble, I believe.
Are they like a goatee or something?
Yeah, I
Maybe
think it's a
just
goatee with like stubble everywhere.
yeah, and he's got
He's
like
supposed to look like a badass. He's tattooed.
and
wears
he's got the
bandana, I
stupid
think.
bandana. Yeah, like dude,
But
it's not 1984.
But his voice makes him sound like a fucking high school kid. I swear to God.
Well, it's not his
does
voice.
not
It's just the
sound-
dumb shit that he like. The character is written so poorly that like he says the dumbest shit. He does the dumbest. He throws like temper tantrums. Oh, I guess the maid had the day off. You know, he's the shit that he says is so stupid and unapplicable to anything that you're doing. And then you're like, okay, so we got to go into this room. We got to talk to this guy, and he like goes ape shit. And just starts fucking like
beating
throwing
the shit out of
dudes
the guy
around for no fucking
Screaming
reason.
at him, trying to sound tough, and it just makes him sound stupid. And it's like, you know, we probably could have just been like, hey, dude, we need some help. And he probably would have helped. But no, you had to piss him off.
Being that there were 3 of us with big fucking guns, the
Right.
guy probably would have been like, "Oh, dude, you
there
need
were 4
you need
of us.
help? No problem." Yeah, at the time there were 4 of us, I suppose. Yeah, he's terrible, and generally, I'm of the opinion that the internet is going to remember O'Neill far longer than they remember the game itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's not even talk about the fact that he has the coolest gun in the Aliens fucking like lore.
right? He's got
at
a
all.
smart gun that when you get the smart gun, it basically makes you a killing machine. But somehow, he cannot fucking kill anything
Unless you don't want him to. If you're working on a
Right.
specific challenge, he will kill everything right before your last shot.
And if you're like hanging out, like you're using the cover mechanic, you're like posted up, popping out, like firing off rounds at Wayland Yutani guys. This motherfucker The only
Stands
huge
right in front
battlefield,
of you.
huge battlefield, and it's the only place he goes is directly fucking in front
You're
of him.
like, hey guys, what are you doing over here?
He
What are you doing, huh?
stands, he runs, he sprints across the fucking map so that he can stop directly in front of you and stand there. And he's like, "So we're gonna get moving?" Maybe if you killed a guy once in a while. Maybe if you got into the action. Maybe I don't want a campaign DLC from that game.
Right? Maybe he'll die in a campaign.
Maybe he'll die in a campaign DLC.
Because Bella died. Well, spoilers.
Spoilers. All right. But yeah, O'Neill is
Everybody
without.
that's played that game, everybody that's going to play the game has played it.
I suppose.
Let's be honest. And they've finished it by now, I'm sure.
Yeah. I suppose though that yeah, it doesn't get much worse than O'Neill. God damn.
And remember, we always say that the top 5, it's not like a hierarchy. It's not, you know.
But in this case,
But
O'Neill.
in this case, our number 1 is the number 1est ever.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more number 1 than O'Neill.
Right. It's number 1 to the max.
OMG to the max. I think that maybe next week, now that we've kind of done our last segment here, I think maybe next week what we should maybe consider doing is maybe see if we can get a guest on the show.
Oh, you wanna? Who would we?
Yeah, we should get a guest. I don't know.
All right.
I think we could put Josh on the show. Maybe that'd be fun for him. He'd have to have a good camera and a headset. I think that's beyond his scope at this point.
Yeah, can't use your iPad, bro.
He doesn't have it anymore.
Or whatever. Oh, well, exactly. See? Can't use it.
But I think we're gonna do some guests. We're gonna do some segments with that. I'd love to get. Well, maybe we'll get.
Don't promise them that it'll be next time because if we can't get a schedule set up.
We could maybe
but
get
we're
one of
gonna
the.
do it.
I think we can maybe get one of the industrial strength gaming guys on.
Which is probably the best bet, yeah. Unless we do another Australian edition.
If we do an Australian edition, we can maybe get one of those guys on. Yeah, which would be pretty cool. I think that it'll be more fun to be able to do that kind of stuff once we move into the compound. Yeah. But
especially since we would
our bunker,
we'd have extra room.
Yeah.
Unless you want to still do it this way when we do that? Still have like separate cams?
It'd be hilarious if we had them right.
So then I could just be like, psh.
No, I wanted it so I could run into the other room and it'd be like, bam! Like my fist could come in from the side of the frame. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna do some of those things. David, I was trying to suggest when we were talking about this earlier. We were trying to figure out some things we wanted to do. Reboot discussion. Vagrant Story.
I know.
Next week,
See, here's the deal. Like that's when I said, should we do a reboot today? That's what I was going to suggest if you said yes. But would it really be a reboot, or because since it never got a sequel, maybe we could just do a sequel? I mean, Final Fantasy 12 doesn't count.
I believe right. Final Fantasy 12 was originally in development with the intention of being a sequel, but then became too good to be a non-Final Fantasy title.
Great game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bitching, but
right. No, I love Final Fantasy 12.
We want more Vagrant Story.
Yeah,
that's one of the games that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, I think that's going to be our discussion for next week. I think we're going to talk about some Vagrant Story, in terms of a sequel or a reboot, and what we'd like to see from it. I think that given I want to play it. I think that given current advancements in game development and
if
gameplay
stuck
mechanics,
to the core gameplays or the core gameplay mechanics, but updated them, it will be fucking badass.
Yeah, I think with current advancements, I think they have. But let's not give away too much.
Let's not talk about too much of it.
Yeah. So that's going to be one we're going to talk about next week, and that's a near and dear one. That's the only other game I can think of, other than maybe Armored Core 2, fucking strong, that we are as passionate about as we are about Legacy of Kain. So, yeah, I guess we're going to wrap it up at that. Wham! And we're probably going to play some games.
We are.
Maybe we're going to play some Xbox Borderlands.
I think maybe we should play something that... Well, we'll talk about that when we're done with this.
But yeah, so the show will be up on YouTube tomorrow, right?
Before I go to bed is probably when I'm going to set it up to upload. You guys, if you enjoy the show, then go ahead and check it out on YouTube. You can check us out at Facebook at facebook.com/virtualbromance.
Check us out at the Facebook.
Yeah, at the Facebook. YouTube.com/virtualbromance is the channel. We have a lot of videos, a bunch of different games up there. We are on Twitter at VirtualBromance. And you can also check out the AmPsych stuff, of which we are half of, at facebook.com/AmPsych if you're into
By no means the
rock and
awesomest
whatnot.
half.
Right. If you're into industrial rock, that is, our band, and we like to think we do all right. But yeah, next week, 8 o'clock.
Be there or be square.
Just be there.
Okay.
Yep.
Word.
Take it easy, guys.
Later, gang.